Hello and welcome to Therapist Marketing Tips, where I offer practical guidance, reviews, and tutorials to help you build, grow, and market your private therapy practice. My name is Chris, and in this video, I'll be taking a look at Propel Appointments, which is a scheduling and booking app for the e-commerce platform Shopify. Propel works by converting Shopify product pages into bookable services so that clients can book their own appointments via your website. In this Propel review, I'll be taking a look at the app's pros and cons. I'll be showing you how to set up and configure Propel, and I'll be talking about other important factors such as pricing and ease of use so that you can decide whether this is the right Shopify app for your therapy practice website. So let's start with the pros. Arguably, the best thing about Propel is that it offers almost all the features that you get with other Shopify booking apps at half the price. I say almost because there's one pretty important feature that is sadly lacking, but I'll get to that in a few moments. If you want to accept deposits and part payments, or integrate Zoom meeting links for online therapy, you need to pay around $36 per month with other apps such as Calendar and Easy Appointment Booking. Whereas with Propel, you get the same features for less than $15 per month. In terms of getting the most features for the least amount of money, Propel is tough to beat. The second pro of Propel is the effortless setup and configuration process. As I'll show you later in this video, the user interface for this app is very basic, but that actually makes it really easy to find the kind of feature or setting that you're looking for and to do whatever it is that you need to do with it. Finally, I love the shortcodes option. So every time you create a bookable service, Propel generates a shortcode which you can then implement into other content such as blog posts or landing pages. On your live website, this shortcode is converted into a Book Now button, which opens up the appointment booking screen for that service. This might be a good way to boost conversions on your site. So, say you write a blog post about a particular type of therapy. In this case, I'm using the example of hypnotherapy, and you have a CTA, a call to action, which directs people to book a session with you. Sure, you could add a link to the product page where users could then click the Book Now button, but by adding that button into your content, you're saving them the time and trouble, however slight it may be, of clicking through to that page and then clicking the Book Now button. Sure, it may only be one click, but the less visitors have to do in order to make a booking, the more likely they are to make that booking and see it through all the way to checkout. On to the cons. I said that Propel has almost all of the features of other apps, but one glaring omission is the ability for clients to book multiple appointments at once. This might be fine if you want to use a calendar app for one-off events like workshops, but as therapists, we tend to work with our clients every week for over multiple sessions for a series of weeks, series of months, or even a series of years. The only other real downside is that the back-end schedule management features leave something to be desired. If you saw my recent review of the free Meaty booking app, you'll have seen that beautiful color-coded calendar. So you can imagine what a come down it was for me when I started using Propel and found its calendar to be pretty poorly designed. The default monthly calendar lists the name of the appointment, but doesn't tell you who the client is. Now, usually with other apps, you can hover over an appointment and it'll reveal pertinent information, including the client name and any other details relevant to their booking, without you having to click through to another page. But that's not an option here, which, to be fair, that's not the biggest problem in the world. but it's just a little more tiresome and it requires just a little bit more work than other apps. And it's certainly lacking it in that respect. But otherwise, there is quite a lot to like about Propel, including the cost. Propel may not be the cheapest Shopify booking app on the market, but it is certainly at the lower end of the spectrum. Its highest price plan costs roughly the same as the entry level plans for Calendar and Easy Appointment Booking, and yet contains, as I said earlier, roughly the same amount of features that you get in Calendar's 36 and Easy Appointment Booking's $39 plan per month. So we can take a closer look at those. So there is a free plan here, but it is limited to just one product and one service. So that might be good if you literally only have one service, like you just do one-to-one in-person therapy all the time. There's a free plan there, but it also misses out useful features like SMS reminders, custom questions, calendar syncing, and the ability for clients to skip the checkout, book their appointment online, and pay for it later. Really, though, it's this $14.95 per month plan that offers the best value for money. It contains everything in these two plans, plus the ability to take deposits, add team members, use those short codes to book from any page, integrate Zoom, and take group appointments and manage multiple calendars. What Propel don't tell you on their App Store page is that they actually offer a 7-day free trial of both their paid plans. So once you have installed the app into your Shopify store, you go to pricing plans and you'll see here that you can access either the $14.95 per month premium plan or the $7.95 per month pro plan with a 7-day free trial. And of course, that free plan is still available. So once you have installed Propel appointments on your Shopify site and picked a plan, you are presented with this onboarding setup wizard, which you can choose to skip if you want to, but let's go through it because it might just make things a little easier. We start by confirming the time zone, and by default this is set to America, Chicago, at least it is where I am right now. If you wanted to change that, you can search for a different time zone in the search bar here, but let's keep it as is. Save and continue to our business hours. This is, of course, one of the most important things that we'll do as part of this process because we need these business hours to determine when clients can actually book sessions. So by default, everything here is set from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, but we could maybe change that to any time we wanted. Let's say we're going to be lazy and start at 10 o'clock in the morning and work till 7 because we want to cater to clients who have to come after work. There is no way to put a lunch break in here automatically, but we can manually add it by saying we're going to work, say, Monday morning, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then we're going to take a lunch break for an hour, and we're going to come back at 2 p.m. and work until, what time did I say? 7:30? And we could repeat that per day, and we could add extra hours on Saturdays and Sundays if we decided that we wanted to work at the weekend too. And before we move on, I should also point out here the business hour overrides, which it uses to close shop or set special hours on holidays and special occasions. So say, you wanted to take a long weekend, you would click that button there. Maybe say that you are closed all day Friday, and that puts it at the entire date. Or if you wanted to set special hours for a particular day. So, okay, say it's New Year's Eve and you're going to be open for just a few hours to see a small handful of clients. So you're not doing your regular business hours on New Year's Eve. You would come select that date from the calendar, click this icon here, and then you can set a custom set of hours and you can override your business hours that way. So with that done, we can move up, and the next thing is to continue to the product setup. Now this works pretty much like any booking app. that you're going to use on Shopify, where it will take one of your existing products and turn it into a bookable service. So if you haven't already done so, you need to head into your products tab and set up some products for each of the services you want clients to be able to book. And if you are not familiar with how to create Shopify products, I do have a tutorial elsewhere on my YouTube channel. For now, let's create a bookable session for our 1 hour hypnotherapy service. By default, this is set to minutes. So we're going to say the session is 1 hour. Does the product need time or lag time between appointments? If we click yes, this gives us, say, 10 minutes either side. And what this lag time is it's a kind of a buffer between appointments. So when one appointment ends, you have 10 minutes after that session to wrap up, say, in case a client overruns or there's things you need to deal with after the session. And then you need an extra 10 minutes leading into that session in order to prepare for the next client. So you can really customize this and make it work for you in a way that best suits the way you like to run your sessions and run your practice. Elsewhere on this product setup page, there are a lot of options that we can configure, and we do actually start here with a couple of payment options. So the first option is the ability to skip payments altogether. So when this is enabled, customers will book appointments without going through checkout. And this is useful, if you want clients to be able to come and book a session, but actually pay you in person for the session rather than paying online. And you can confirm, you can make sure that they're actually legitimate and going to show up by requiring that if you're going to skip payment, you need a phone number so that you can call up or, make sure that they're legitimate. Elsewhere, you can have deposits and partial payments. And you'll notice that when I turn this on, we won't be able to have skip payment and partial payments both as the same option. So we're going to turn this off. And when this happens, we can alter the percentage. So we could say 25% deposit, whatever. I'm going to keep it at 50 for now. And it says an invoice for the remaining 50% of the product price will be emailed to the customer after booking. So if you wanted, the best of both worlds, you don't necessarily want clients to have to pay the full amount up front, but you don't want them to pay nothing at all. They can make a deposit which secures their appointment with this feature enabled. If your session is a group appointment, all you need to do is toggle this option on, and then you can adjust the capacity accordingly. The location is where the actual session is going to be. And we have a couple of options here which make it a really good choice for therapists to do a combination of online, in person, or other types of therapy. So you have options to add a Zoom link. If you are using another online platform, say Google Meet or something, you could select online and add the meeting link in there. You can add a phone number, the physical address, or you can add another location there if there's something other than telephone, online, and in person that you wanted to do. So I really like that because it gives us lots of options no matter what kind of therapy you offer, and especially if you offer different types of therapy within the same practice, you can make sure that this is all set up and correct for you. Going down, we have start time increments. So this tells us that a 10-minute increment means spots will be available every 10 minutes, which is obviously not good because we do hour-long sessions. So we set that to an hour. And here we have a couple of options to restrict how far in advance and how close to the appointment time customers can book. So by default, this is set to indefinitely into the future, but we could have it, customers can book any dates within the next, say, couple of months, or we could say they can book up to 90 days into the future. And that kind of avoids, clients booking appointments so far in advance that they forget about them or we forget about them or things change. And we can also avoid customers booking same day appointments, or coming along and seeing, oh, there's a therapist with a session available in an hour's time, I'm going to book it. Meanwhile, you're in your therapy practice going about your business, not realizing there's been an immediate booking. So you can set a cutoff time and say, okay, I don't want clients to be able to book any sooner than the day before their session. So if I set that to 1 day, that would mean if a client wants a booking on a Tuesday, the earliest they could book it would be on a Monday. Going down, we can set custom business hours. So if this is like a one-off service that operates outside of your standard business hours, say like a group session in the evening, you could set that there. You can also link this to the calendars, which we'll look at later. And you can create custom intake forms using the custom questions tab. So you can you can ask your clients for information pertinent to the type of therapy that you're offering. So here's one I made earlier. Please tell me more about why you're looking for a therapist. And this just gives them a text box, where they can say, well, I'm having this problem and I'd like some help. But we can also create other types of questions, short answers, long answers, drop downs, checkboxes, etc. The only thing that I don't like about the custom questions on Propel, and it's really a small thing, is that there's no way to rearrange these questions. Like, now that I've done this, I would quite like to put these checkboxes at the top, and so what can I help you with, and then tell me more information. So there's no way to rearrange that. I'm going to have to delete these and basically start over from scratch, which I will do now. So I've done that, and that looks a little better, and we can start exploring some of these other options. We could add our company logo to the booking pop-up image, which we can do in the settings. And finally, there are these short codes, which I mentioned in the pros and cons. And this isn't actually something that I've seen in any other booking app. And if it does exist, I must have just glossed over it. When we have done all of that, we go back to the top, click Save, and click Finish Setting Up Product. And the last thing that we need to do is to activate this app in our Shopify theme, which is the case for pretty much any app that you're going to use. So we click Activate in the theme customizer. This automatically turns this on. All we then have to do is click Save. With that done, it says, hey, congratulations, you're all set to start accepting bookings. And we can see how all that comes together if we go to our website, click on the bookable product, click on book a time, and here your clients can choose the date of their appointment. They can choose the available time, the slot that they want, then confirm that time slot. Here are those custom questions that I created. They'll hopefully fill that in, but just for the sake of saving time, I'm going to skip it. Click book appointment, and because we had the deposit enabled, that means we click pay deposit, and we're now charged half of the thing up front plus the other half coming in an invoice at a later time. The frustrating thing about using Propel is that while it's a good booking app, it actually has the potential to be a great booking app with just a few minor improvements. Okay, so I like the fact that if you compare like-for-like plans with other Shopify booking apps, Propel really proves itself to be quite an affordable option, making it a good choice for any therapist out there who wants to keep their costs low without sacrificing useful features. I also really like how easy it is to set up and configure, with a basic but effective user interface and a handy setup wizard to keep you on course. However, the schedule management features could use some work, while the fact that clients can't block book multiple appointments at once is certainly a problem. And it's certainly a problem given the long term nature of therapy work and the fact that most of our clients will be attending multiple appointments over a series of time. If that's not enough to deter you, then you'll certainly find the ease of use, multiple payment and therapy type options, and the setup process all help to make Propel a decent addition to your therapy practice website. Thank you so much for watching this review. I do hope you have found it helpful. For more practical guidance, tutorials, and reviews to help you build, grow, and market your private therapy practice, please subscribe to this channel or check out therapistmarketingtips.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.